this time we are back, right? We're gonna get Godzilla back. They made a misstep with Godzilla versus Ghidorah, and we're gonna get him back, right? Right? Well, kind of. Godzilla versus Gigan is up on the chopping block today as we journey through our Go Go Godzilla challenge that we are doing here. And this time around, director Jun Fukuda is back to try to get Godzilla back on track. And he's got a great script here with Shinichi Seikazawa back writing the story of a manga artist who is looking to sell his art, and he can't get a job until he finally lands one with these creators of this amusement park that is going to promote absolute peace for children and push the idea of peace and go with the idea of peace because we live in such a violent times. We need peace, right? Well, what the artist doesn't know is that these guys are actually aliens and they want to take over the world. But first, they know Godzilla and his monster buddies are in the way. So they come up with a plot to try to lure Godzilla away from Monster Island and his buddy and take them out so they can then take over the world. And we see how the humans as well as Godzilla try to thwart their plans. Yes, Godzilla is still a good guy in this film, and he's got a sidekick this time in the form of Anguirus, aka Anguirus. So we've got Anguirus in here, we got Godzilla, and we got some interesting aliens. Now, I did like the performance of the humans in here and their storyline. I found it interesting. We get a strong female character in here who they set up as knowing black belt karate, and she shows it by kicking some tail of the aliens. She gets in some really fun fights, and in fact, she's the one that does the most fighting, I think, in this film as far as the humans go. As far as the Godzilla and Anguirus fight go, we get King Ghidorah showing up again, working for the side of the aliens, go figure, and a new alien in the form of a Gigan who has some really cool hook hands and, he's got a blade on the chest, some vibrating spikes on the chest. I love that design. I really enjoy his design, and he's fun to play in the GameCube game, the Godzilla game, and I really enjoyed that character, and seeing them fight was interesting because thanks to this new alien, we actually get to see Godzilla bleed for once, which you're like, holy crap, we are trying to go back to the darker, more mature tone of these films versus the very kid-like forms that we have been taking in the last couple of movies. So they're really trying to bring him back to a little bit more darker, a little more serious, kind of serious tone. Why Anguirus is in this fight, I don't know. He does squat in here, whether it's new footage that they shoot or scenes from Destroy All Monsters, stock footage that they cut in between. He just is kind of there. It's odd with the editing that they do with him too, because supposedly Godzilla and Anguirus get called from Monster Island thanks to these aliens, and we get this odd scenario where we actually get the voice bubbles of Godzilla and Anguirus talking to each other, and we can understand them because they're subtitled. They have their own subtitles. They're still making their monster voices, but we know what they're saying, and that was just, I was like, wow, okay, way to kind of take the 60s Batman approach to this. And so we still get some great music in here. I haven't mentioned the music in the series so far, and I do apologize, but Akira Ifukube did the music for this, sort of. They actually took his music cues from other Godzilla movies, and they put them in this film to match the action. King Ghidorah doesn't do a whole lot in here, and apparently that was because they really didn't have the staff to operate King Ghidorah. It takes about, 22 wires to operate him, 24 when he's flying, and they just didn't have the staff. So a lot of this fight, Ghidorah's just kind of standing there and let Gigan do all the heavy work for him, which is okay because Anguirus isn't doing much either. So these two guys really are just kind of there while Gigan and Godzilla beat the tar out of each other, so it is kind of an odd Godzilla fight, though we do have the darker tone. So I did enjoy that. I enjoyed the set pieces they had in here, and overall, it is better. It's one of the better films to come out later now since Destroy All Monsters. So I will give it that, but it's still, isn't quite to the level that we had with the previous earlier Godzilla films, unfortunately. But you can see the effort and that they are trying. And I think for the most part, they accomplished that. Now, this is also a goodbye to the gentleman in the Godzilla suit this whole time, which was Haruo Nakajima. He's been in the suit for all the series, and this was his final film that he was in. So he gets a little better send off than if he would have ended it, say, with All Monsters Attack. So at least he gets that. But yeah, it's still trying to find its footing. Still not the best Godzilla film, but it's better than, I would say, the last three that we've watched. So there you have it, folks. Love to hear your thoughts, as always, of Godzilla versus Gigan. We got coming up next another wild misstep from the Godzilla franchise, which I'm looking forward to talking to you about. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on this journey. Check out our Patreon if you haven't already. I thank you for your support, and until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.